Oh,
that
remember
specific
to make
reason.
me like the same resolution as you.
Are you not?
I'm like wider.
Oh. Well,
You know, we got
lose some weight.
Oh.
Unbelievable.
Beep bop boop bop beep
Yeah. Podcast. Keep going. Keep going.
No, it's because I looked at it myself.
What?
I look stupid when I beatbox.
Look at yourself.
No, that's the intro.
No, I'm not done.
Oh, beep bop boop boop.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going. No, we gotta start over. Start over.
Be.
This is terrible. Yeah. Woo! Yeah. Podcast. Like the video. Don't forget to do that. Also, comment on the podcast. Yeah. Woo! The please don't watch this podcast.
My sister's hearing all of this. And so are my neighbors.
Yeah.
That was what you had to add?
Yeah, that was all I had to add. I'm your fantastic host, We Censor Bar, and joining me as always is Xbox Connect.
2 knives.
How's it going, Xbox Connect?
Xbox Connect. I got 2 knives.
Are those the same 2 knives from a few days ago?
Yeah, see, they're plastic. Yeah, there's some lore behind these. What do they do? Don't ask me. What are they for? Leave me alone, okay? I don't have to answer all your questions. Oh, I should mention, I carried on the thing. I'm wearing the Red Suns, like I said I would.
Oh,
One day I'll be a rich Asian man who just races cars all day with his brother. I guess first off, I'd have to find a brother.
That's true. Anyways, it is May the 10th, 2020. Welcome to the episode 23 of the Please Don't Watch This podcast. I thank you all for watching this podcast, despite the fact that you shouldn't.
Yeah, why are you doing this? What? Spend your time with your mom today.
Yeah,
because it's Mother's Day. Don't you know?
It's true. But the good news is for you guys, when this goes up, probably like a week from now, or maybe I'll upload it tomorrow. Who knows?
Is the music supposed to be playing?
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, that's loud. When I lower the volume, does it lower the volume for you too?
No, it doesn't. No. That would be stupid.
Okay, good.
That'd be dumb. Right. So, anyways, yeah.
All right, sorry, a little technical.
Yeah. So we're good to go here. We got a couple topics to talk about, but as always, we're gonna go ahead and start off with what's been going on in our lives. If I can find my notes. Where's my notes? There's my notes.
I disappeared.
There's my notes. Okay.
I'm flashing.
Sorry.
I'm turning into a mountain.
A mountain?
Isn't your background a mountain island thing? Like a rocky cliffside?
Oh no, that's the Rust background. Yeah. No, it's an iceberg actually.
Background knowledge.
Yeah. So, but anyways, let's get going here. Stop distracting them.
Thanks, Strong Bad. Who started with their week? Oh, I started it last time. All I said was Zoom sucks.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You started.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot on my end.
So I have a few things that I can talk about. So I wanted to say, I started YouTube 2008.
2008?
Yeah, literally 12 years ago now. Not to say that I am anything of, any significant YouTuber or anything like that, but I wanted to thank everybody for sticking around for as long as they did. We just hit the very wonderful or horrible milestone, depending on how you look at it. I have crossed over into the YouTube Partners program that has gone live already.
Poggers.
So what that means probably at the moment is nothing is really changing, other than I'm going to be trying to work on some more projects that are coming down the pipeline.
It was funny. What was it, Thursday or whenever we talked for no reason? He went through like all his videos and had to check mark.
I spent almost 4 to 5 hours fixing all of that.
How many videos? 2,400?
I believe we're at almost 2,500 videos. That's
a lot of videos.
It's a lot.
How many minutes would you have to live to watch all that?
Well, not enough to indicate my life clearly. So
who knows?
I'd probably say
That would not make sense.
I'd probably say 4 or 5 months at the most.
That's
I feel
that's a lot of time.
I feel like that's a lot of time. But
Yeah,
I don't think
that's
I don't think
a
that's
season.
right. But yeah, it's any continued watching is always appreciated. I as usual, and I try to strive to make this a continuing thing. I try to make sure that nothing is ever just too required of like payment or anything like that. So anything you can give me, anything, just watching is the most important thing I can ever
Your
ask.
leg,
Anything.
your arm,
yeah, I could
a
use
bladder.
an arm and a leg. That you're right. You're correct. I scratched what I just said. You send me your arms and
Forget
legs right now. Do it right now. Those of you watching, do it right now.
Thanks to viewers like you. Thank you.
So, but there will be other things definitely not changing. I don't want to say the word changing because I don't think that's correct, even though it is correct. Adding is probably the better word. So, a couple of you know, me and Brian have been working on a project. We're very halfway through this project as it is. I started out not sure about this. I started out probably almost against it, and my morale was down. But it's gonna be a good video, I think.
Was I told about this?
No.
Oh. Ooh.
So, yeah, look forward to that. It probably won't be this week that it'll be done, but maybe next week. I'm gonna try. So the idea that I'd like to try to do is I'd like to get one actual video of like solid editing out per week if I can do that. It's a lot of work. It's phenomenally amount of work.
Yeah.
And I just have to find more time to do it. I've also come to a realization that like it's hard to. A lot of people have asked me if they could help in any way, and I unfortunately can constantly have to say no. I don't like saying no in that regard, but there's so much things that I have to establish on my own. So I apologize that it might take a little bit longer than what I usually say. It's all my fault in that sense. But
I get that.
But the good news
Oh,
is that
Lord, no.
it's oh Lord no. Dun, 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 dun.
We're out of sync. Wow.
So,
Right.
but yeah, so there's that coming down the pipeline. I also wanted to apologize that I've taken a very minor break from streaming. I personally myself, I think I needed it. I just haven't really been into it at the moment. I finished the randomizer stuff, and we kind of started doing more randomizer and really got into randomizer. And with for those of you I'm so sorry. For those of you that do not know, community night is also on the verge of being a thing. Is that you that just opened that?
What? No. Open what?
I just heard a boom.
That's the sound of the. Because what Carl and I use to listen to music now for podcasts is.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I kept going boom.
Oh, is there a way to disable that noise?
I don't know.
Okay, well.
I don't use this. The last time I used this program was probably like 2013 or something.
But yeah, so I apologize for missing a whole bunch of streams as of late. I don't intend on always doing that, but as I'm trying to get everything together, it's a process. So
sorry, my sister just added me. The F-bombs are incoming.
Isn't it Phoenix Wright? They don't even like.
Yeah, but it's in a bridge.
Right.
So the Maya, I think, is a criminal in that.
Oh.
because she's always in the detention center.
That's
so
true. And you're correct. So, but
she normally never drops the F-bomb, only for voice acting. So if you want to see that, go catch her on the. This is a free advertising for her. Happy Mother's Day. I forget who uploads it, but you can probably find it if you just look up Phoenix Wright Abridged.
Yeah.
She's a Cassicle.
Dude, we can't.
Anyway,
we can't sponsor that anymore.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
We have real sponsors now.
Thanks, Shady Speed.
But yeah, so tomorrow, as long as everything goes to plan, I should be back for the most part to stream. Otherwise, we're probably looking at the latest Thursday. I'll probably be fully back into streaming that day. That's for sure. I think when we're going to be finished with our project.
That's good.
And then throughout the weekend, I'll probably work on most of that so I can have it ready for the next Friday. In which case, I can start on another project, and it'll be super great.
Great.
Pikmin 3 will be done in a few days from now, so that means new playthrough incoming. There will be more Super Paper Mario Monday, so May the 11th for the people that are watching. So they don't get confused when they're watching way ahead.
Right.
But I think that's everything that I have really to talk about.
Your day or your week? Have you done anything cool?
You know,
Like,
I honestly speaking, I've been doing a lot of prep for this community night on the other side of it. So
yeah. He made me not made me, but he was like, "Hey, see, could you check out my island and see if everything's all right?" And then I'm like, "Sure." And then he's working hard on the island. In fact, he spent like 11 hours one day on that.
I spent more closer to 13, 14. I woke up, I played Animal Crossing, and I played Animal Crossing, and then I played more Animal Crossing, and I kept playing Animal
And then
Crossing.
more games, and then more games.
Yeah, and games.
How long is community night gonna shape up to be? It sounds like a 12-hour event.
I don't think it's gonna be a 12-hour event.
Maybe 6. It's gonna be long.
So I guess I'll go into it a little bit. For sure. I think this date is not in stone. This is just I'm throwing that out there right now, unless anything changes.
Clay. Not cooked.
It's gonna be either the 22nd or the 23rd. So, not this Friday or Saturday, but next Friday or Saturday.
Friday 21st, 22nd, or 22nd, 23rd.
Friday's the 22nd, Saturday's the 23rd. So I don't know which day works out better for you guys, honestly. And I don't think it's gonna matter, like, no matter how hard I try, regardless of that. So,
I feel like Saturday might be better.
Yeah, probably.
But I think we'll leave it to a vote, because at least this time it's kind of like, oh well, I want to participate, but
yeah. And the other thing too is that, like, I need more kind of for sure people are gonna make it. Oh, the 23rd is Troy's birthday. That's correct.
Ooh, costume with Troy. The game-a-thon is happening.
I don't think the game-a-thon is
Except
happening.
it's not it's not the game-a-thon you think it is. It's the different kind.
So maybe it will be on Friday. I mean, at this point now, like, I think
it's not like you guys are gonna meet up.
Well, it's more of like, it doesn't really matter because everybody's mostly home anyways, and whether it's Friday night or Saturday night, like, I think it's gonna be that's gonna be fine. So but I can confirm that it will not be all of the games that I listed on there. The only reason for that is I didn't want it to be, number one,
too long.
Yeah, too long. Number two, I wanted more community night suggestions already to be in place or when we do another one, because this will not be a one and done kind of thing. I want it to be a continued thing that happens. And then the time that's going to be spent, I think, on the 3 games that I'm going to have being played, I think is going to be more than enough, just regardless for that. I think that's any more is going to just kind of overdo it, I think. So the 3 games that I have on the docket are Animal Crossing for sure. That we'll start with that for sure. That will have prizes to win. There will be events.
You mean prizes in-game?
In-game prizes, yeah. For
Okay.
sure. The second game that we're going to be doing is Mario Party. I'm sorry, not Mario Party. Mario Kart. Mario Kart.
I was like, that doesn't work.
Mario Kart. That's what I meant. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
And you're just thinking of Mario Party now.
I just arrived in the mail. And the last game is going to be Marbles, because I've been told to play that for many times. Yeah, it's pretty easy. So that'll be the last thing.
Will that one have a prize? Which one will all of them will have prizes or no?
So Mario Kart 8 is going to also have a tournament prize that I will. I have to establish in my own mind how I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I have the prize in mind. You guys are going to really like the prize. I'm not spoiling it right now, though.
Is it shaving your beard in a unique fashion? Oh.
No. No.
Then what's the point?
But there will be a prize for that.
For
yes.
shaving your beard?
Brian, come on. Come on, Brian.
No, come on. Get fired.
Yeah, you're right. The prize is that speed's fired. You get the fire speed.
I just noticed that my camera up above is fire. I hate this.
Oh, that's true. You're right.
Oh, and check out my cool poster.
It's a dumb poster.
You're just jealous because you didn't get Master Rank in Calm's Crown, man.
So Smash and Splatoon, I think, are going to be the following week. So I think Smash Brothers will be the main.
Oh, it's gonna be a week community.
If it's not every week, it's bi-weekly. I don't
That's
know.
cool.
I have to think about it. So I think that's everything I have for that.
What kind of events will be done in Animal Crossing, or do you not want to disclose it?
We'll discuss that when we get closer to it. But
Okay.
I assure you that there's lots to be done. I have. Let's see here.
He really went ham on his town. He terraformed a lot.
I terraform more than I probably cared to admit, but 2, 3.
Whoa,
4,
I'm
5,
disappeared
6,
again. What's
7.
going on here?
So I have 7 events right now. I think.
Goodness.
I don't think I'll have any more. I think that's what we're gonna have.
Okay.
There's a lot to do in my town too. I think, like, just to explore around. So I think
Yeah.
you guys will enjoy that as well.
Since there's so many events, and I think a lot of people have the game, have you thought about how to do like a rotating party kind of aspect?
So that's why I really need to know up front who's going to be able to make it there, because I need to know if I need to especially like with Mario Kart 8, which I think we're going to have enough for just one set for the tournament.
Yeah, I don't know the game.
But the more I know in advance, the better off. And it might be one of those things where it's like you have to up at front, sign up for this.
That's cool. I mean,
just so I can.
Because we'll see how this one goes out. Because
Yeah.
I think you can think of like a way to rotate. Maybe some people are interested in one event, but not the other.
Yeah.
Like you can have event sets. Maybe you could have like 4 events in set A and then 4 events in set B. Well, you think about it.
Yeah. So it'll. Gosh darn it! That noise is gonna drive me insane.
I know.
So
I'm surprised you couldn't hear it last time.
So there's still a lot of stuff to go around with that, but I don't want to keep rambling on anymore, because I think I'll if I go any further, I'm gonna ramble into just giving away all the good secrets and stuff. But I think that's everything that I have that's been going on. I don't think there's been much else.
You've been practicing instruments?
I really wish I could do more. I've been so busy with just other stuff, though, honestly speaking. But I really am dying to get myself back into recording music. I'm just so stuck. Like, it's frustrating. I really want to go forward with this music video. I am trying as hard as I can to motivate myself to do it, and I cannot break this lack of motivation to just get up there and do it. There's a lot of issues that come into it as far as why it's not just because I'm lazy. I
hate that calling it lazy. I think you're preoccupied with other things, and there's other compounding factors I wouldn't say it's primarily laziness.
The thing is I'm fully aware that I need to address the fact that there is some laziness into it. Unfortunately, I don't like admitting that, but I think it just comes down to that's the part of the truth of it. The other part of the truth of it is that, like, setting up all of this stuff to do. I mean, obviously all the instruments, they're behind me. Most of them are ready to go, regardless of that. But like writing music and then doing the recordings, and now if I add the element of video, that adds a whole different thing to it as well. So it's the path that I have to take forward. And the other thing too is that I'd like to go back to doing the weekly stuff. I thought that was a lot of fun back when I did it. It was a lot of work.
And you kind of are doing the playthroughs right now. I think that'd be too much work.
Yeah, but the thing is too is that, like, I'd like to be able, if I can make it so that it's that's weekly, then I can really kind of back down from how many videos for the playthroughs can possibly go up on a daily basis.
Okay, I see.
So like it'd be like
so you want to keep a balance rather than just
try
to pile it on.
So it'd be kind of like maybe Saturday through Thursday, or would be playthrough uploads, and then Friday would be solely for music video and projects and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see how this works. I just got to get myself going on what I think is the best, but For now, that's just how it sits right now. So lots of big things are coming. I just gotta get myself into it as best as I can.
Don't watch this podcast. Watch the content. Dude.
Yeah.
That should be your slogan.
Yeah.
I'll what do you call it? I'll go on the other side, because I haven't really been drawing. This is actually one of the projects I've been trying to work on. I've been trying to fill up this whole thing with what do you call it? Like highlighter drawings. They're all highlighter drawings.
They're all used with a highlighter?
Yeah, they're all highlighter. But the farthest I got is here. That's it. I'm not even done with this one.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm stuck too. I haven't been able. This will transition smoothly. I haven't really had time to. I didn't even stream this week.
Right.
I had midterms.
Your class schedule is also very weird. I'd like to address that really quick because there's a lot of.
Because you like to message me when I am in class.
Yeah. Well, it's not even so much that. It's just more of when you look at just the basic school schedule, there's essentially 2 semesters really. There's the fall semester and there's the spring semester. I mean, there's the summer semester too, but the two main semesters.
So the summer session and then I'm on a quarter system.
Yeah, see, that's the thing that's weird about it is that quarters are strange to me.
Yeah. In fact, the problem, I think I mentioned this last time, we're switching the semesters come fall, and I kind of like quarters. Quarters don't feel like a slog to me.
Yeah.
It piles on. It's like, but like besides that, I don't know. I'd rather be done with something than take so long on it.
Right.
But I get that some people can't retain the knowledge in just 10 weeks. They need like 14 or something. So I mean, I don't know. I'm so familiar with semesters that switching the quarters was actually kind of, I don't know, interesting for me.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I'm getting the information I need more directly. The stuff I'm studying.
Yeah, I mean, it's so weird because like I think some people could learn everything in a semester in a week if you really give them a chance to, and then there's some people that just like they like the longer drawn out semester kind of it. So
yeah, I think it's different strokes, different Pokemons. Besides that, like I got a midterm tomorrow.
Oh, that sucks.
I'm fine though. I'm fine with things have been going. I don't know. I haven't had a lot of time to do what I want to do, but
sure.
I don't know. At least I'm getting the assignments done. I thought I wasn't because of this. I'm not used to having 4 online classes. It's like a little intensive.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, I have more time than others who have to be busy right now. I just sit around and then I do the homework. What else? What else did I do? Well, yeah, it's getting spicy. The assignments though, I'm getting a little. I think they're starting to lax up on it. I feel like there are some classes where it's like there's too much for people who aren't me. This one class we had 6 assignments. It was 2 quizzes, 2 writings. Actually 5. I might have included another essay, but still, it's a lot of assignments on there.
Yeah.
And for those who have to be working right now, it's like, oh, it's too much for them. But that teacher seems to be easing up the schedule. I think this week I only have like 3 assignments. So
yeah,
for that class anyway. You have to also consider all these other classes are getting compounded too with other I think the best classes I'm taking right now are adapting and not just doing what they would have normally done in their normal curriculum. Well, that's my school side, and I'm doing pretty okay in class. I got all A's. Nerd.
Yeah, I'd say.
Nerd face.
You're doing much better than I did in school, man. Just put it at that. So
I got it because the interesting thing is I'm balancing the streaming too, because you were just busy for that. Yeah, I don't think you really streamed during your college years, huh?
No, it's I look back at that and there's a lot of stuff that was going on with that specifically. It had to do more so with not to say that I had some less than stellar roommates, but streaming with roommates in the room was just kind of like, no, let's not.
Get out of here, Troy.
So,
Troy did not go to
that was
high
a
school,
big thing
college.
about that. And then by the time I got to the later, when I had my own apartment, trying to stream at that point became a lot more difficult because I was in the later part of my years at college, and a lot of stuff was more.
It's not just GEDs; it's now the
So I just couldn't bring myself to do it, and plus I had a part-time job, so it was just kind of like, I'm tired and I don't feel like doing this at all. And even on the weekends, I'd be working part-time jobs, so just
I gotta be aware, like, my position is a lot more fortunate than a lot of others, where I can have time to stream on the occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
besides that, I've been watching anime.
Oh, dumb. That's dumb. So we're gonna move on.
No, wait, hold on. But I really like this one I'm watching. It's called "Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken." I think that's how you pronounce it. It's about these two girls who are really into animation, and they start a club to get that going. And I love every episode because it kind of reinvigorates my love of art and animation.
So would that be like anime Inception or something?
Kinda, yeah. Like they always talk about how animation is created and how like you could make something look more dynamic,
right?
Because they're very imaginative. I don't know why I did this for imaginative. I guess this is what I am. But I don't know. I really liked it. I'm really liking it so far. I'm only on episode 3 of that. I think it's 12. I don't know. 12.
That was kind of one of the things I really liked about anime itself is that like with most like cartoons or TV shows in general, it's always just like, here's 5 seasons worth of stuff. Good luck. And it's like with anime, sometimes it's like, here's 3 episodes and that's it. Like, even though I didn't really care for FLCL, it was nice that it was like, I think 4 or 5 episodes for when they at the time.
They did have a season 2 though.
Yeah, they did have a season 2, which I never watched, but it was even if I didn't care for it, it was enough to get me to get through it, and I appreciated enough of it, I suppose.
But yeah, depending on how the show goes, it might go in like my top 5 or something. Johnny and I have been debating doing like a kind of a podcast like this, but more focused on ranking things that we like. I think that'd be cool. I think I talked to you about this, right?
So it sounds more like you should do like ranking videos then.
So what it would be is a podcast. We got the Google Doc right there on the screen, and then we just like because we were thinking about what our favorite SpongeBob episode was, for example, and I'm like,
yeah,
well, Shanghai's my top, but I don't know the other 4. That's interesting to consider.
Now, okay, here's a question though that you can ask: which is of the first 4 seasons of SpongeBob, what is the worst episode?
That is pretty tough. I'd have to think about it. I don't think I like squirrel jokes too much.
That was
because
okay.
the lesson at the end is just make fun of everyone, even though the idea should be you should laugh at yourself as much as you laugh at your others or whatever. I don't know.
Man.
That noise is the music thing that we're using.
Yeah.
The pop. Sorry about that. We don't.
I don't know why
it's still in theory.
Why it's doing it this time? It shouldn't.
Still a work in progress. This podcast, despite it being the 2030.
Don't worry about that. Okay. Anyways, I think it's time to move on to our first topic. As it would be. I personally want to go talk about first playthroughs, if that's all right with you. Sure.
Let me scroll down here. I feel like you have a lot more to talk about than I do because this is you've had a longer career doing. So this is first video game we played, as well as first video game we played on a stream or like on YouTube.
Well, I kind of wrote it out as like memories of different first video games that I really played. So, and a few of those are exactly what you added in there, but I think I have a couple of just others. Like I have a few that are like.
I couldn't think about what my first game I played was. I think we talked about this on some other podcast, but I really don't.
Yeah, so
I really don't remember because you're 3.
Yeah, well, even so, like when I was 0, like I.
01.
I had video games really accessible, even though I was an infant and couldn't pick up a controller or anything like. Well, I could probably have picked up a controller and started playing, but as I grew into like 3, 4, and 5, I do remember playing a little bit of like Zelda, like Link to the Past, vaguely. I also do remember playing a little bit of Earthbound as well during that point. And those two, I think, were the very first that I fully remember myself playing, along with maybe Super Mario All-Stars. So if I had to pick a game that I really did play first out of anything else, that would probably be it. Or the other option that I would have to go with is Putt-Putt.
Putt-Putt.
I think I do remember playing a little bit of Putt-Putt when I was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old. That was just came out, I think, by that point, or maybe it's been out.
That's
for
interesting because
like
I didn't even write those down. Like I didn't even consider like Putt-Putt being my first game. I don't think it was, but I definitely had a lot of CDs like that, like Pajama Sam. And
yeah.
A bunch of other kid stuff.
So
sorry for adults.
So those would probably be my first experiences for sure. With just games in general. Now, Earthbound, I was never able to really beat Earthbound until I was probably like 8 or 9, probably somewhere around there. Because that like when you're a kid, you just don't understand RPGs.
And it's also kind of an archaic game to begin with.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to just play it when you beat it when you're 2 years old.
Yeah. So
you don't have motor function.
So, I for sure beat Putt-Putt. That's for sure. I was a
put C on the backlog when you were 3 years old.
That's right. But Earthbound for sure was beaten like when I was like 8 or 9. Now with Link to the Past, I actually beat that with my mom. We worked together to kind of work to beat through that.
Is this
game.
the Great Deku Tree?
No, that's the wrong game.
I know.
But that was. I don't think the biggest thing I remember is that when we caught up to my brother, who had I don't think ever fully beaten the game himself by that point. So I remember when we were at the same progress level at that he was at, which was a super exciting point because then I felt as cool as my brother, and
Yeah, that's what you when you have a sibling that's older, you always kind of hate them but look up to them.
It's true. It's that's just when you have an older brother.
Unfortunately, nowadays my sister, she never beats games. So
yeah. So now she looks up to you, right?
No. Well, she has to because I'm like a foot taller than her.
So yeah, that's definitely the first few games that I can feasibly remember myself playing.
Mm-hmm.
From that make the most sense to me. But what about you? Do you have any? What was your first game that you can fully remember yourself playing?
This is the interesting thing because Carl and I, our age gap isn't that big. It's like 4 or 5 years old, 5 years apart.
Yeah.
But with that in mind, our game generation is a lot different.
It is.
I didn't grow up playing SNES games. I grew up playing N64 and GameCube. So this is a hard thing. I think my first game was Mario Kart 64. I probably gave a different answer, like because it's like, how am I supposed to remember? I was 3 years old.
Right.
But besides that, I think the games that I really started like, yeah, this is video games. I'm gonna be a pro video game player. 5 years old saying this. Probably Animal Crossing and Melee of all things.
That's a very interesting thing to hear. Animal Crossing.
Yeah, because it's not a hard game to understand. You just make the money.
Well, I don't know.
Make the number go big.
I mean, it's more of, I guess it's just a weird introduction of video games that that's not something I hear. I mean, sure, there's plenty of people that like Animal Crossing for sure, but it's just not one of those like that was my first video game.
That I was like I understood that I was playing a video game, I think, is what I'm trying to get at with Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
My first one, I still think it's got to be an N64 game. I think it was a racing game. It was either Mario Kart 64 or, of all things, Simpsons Road Rage.
That was GameCube.
Which is weird. I don't know. I don't remember. I must have been mind erased.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get that. Animal Crossing is a weird first game, and then when I was like 9 years old, I played Silent Hill. But then. Different times, different rhymes. But yeah, Animal Crossing, I think the interesting thing is I would always start a new file. I guess I just really liked the intro of all things. I would always like, oh no, I reset a lot of times and now reset he's mad at me. I should start a new life so he doesn't recognize me.
So you don't have to
Like
write
that-
the stupid paragraph out.
The letter. Yeah, I couldn't do that. I could barely spell words. Not true. I was like 5. I could probably spell reset bad, life good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the interesting part about this. You grew up with a different subset of games.
Sure.
Though I did when I think I was 6. I did play the SNES a little. We did have an SNES at one point, but like my sister's first games were probably SNES, but like Mario, I think she said. But the interesting thing is, those went to the Philippines, and I think the games we owned were either bootleg or JP, because we had a Dragon Ball game. I fondly remember we had a Dragon Ball cart, and I was like, "Whoa, what's this? I don't get it." Like I wasn't aware of anime at that point.
Yeah. So you actually had JP carts at a time.
I think.
Okay.
I've had a weird like rotation of systems go through my life. Like I used to have a Dreamcast. Wish I had one. I need to go get one again. I know you're like, what games are on there?
Yeah.
And I say it's the stupid ones. I'm gonna play the Ring Terror's Realm. That's gonna be a stream.
So yeah, but now do you remember your first console that you ever got?
It probably was the GameCube, like, because like the N64 already existed when I was born.
So, well, I mean, like, was it yours when you got it, or was it your family's, or was it your
It's like the
sister's?
families.
Okay.
I don't think I really owned a system until like the portables, like probably the SP. It's probably the first thing I owned. No, I had a Game Boy. I had a Game Boy. I had a red Game Boy.
Yeah, most of the consoles that we got
are portables, I think, for a lot of people anyway. I think for you, since no, you had a brother. Never mind.
Yes,
Sorry
so
to
we shared everything basically. Surprisingly, well, I think the thing that really helped out a lot was that we didn't just have one console at a time. So like we had quite a few. Like we never really sold off any of our consoles, so to say. So, but I remember my first console specifically. I got it for my 5th birthday. Was a PlayStation 1. It was mine. It was for my birthday. I got the wonderful game Spyro the Dragon.
And then your YouTube took off.
Yeah. Then spin the clock, 15 years later or 10 years later, and
Jesus,
I was
15.
recording onto the YouTube, and here we are now. But yeah, I remember when I was a wee Carl.
But the Wii wasn't out when.
You're correct. It was not out. I remember that I was so excited. I used to be a much happier kid than I am now.
Well, you're not a kid anymore.
Well, a person, okay.
What
I mean by that though is I used to be like when I was playing the game, I'd literally be standing and jumping with the controller in my hand because of how exciting this was, getting gems and going through different levels and rescuing dragons and all that stuff. Like I also had a demo of the original Crash Bandicoot, and every time Crash would jump, I would also jump with him. So
well, this could be, we'll just buy Ring Fit Adventure and then you could just jump all you want.
God, no.
That's a money incentive, folks. Get on that.
There is
Ring Fit Adventure Night.
There is actual video camcorder footage of me doing this too, which you will never see.
You should show it to us.
I should not.
What?
You will have to pay mountains of money to see that.
Oh. When I was growing up, I didn't like go game. Instead, I got angry.
I got angry at plenty of things too, and I remember there'd be times where it's just like
This is why my sister wouldn't play with me for a long time, because I get angry.
Well, so with my brother, so obviously older kids never want to play with their younger siblings.
Yeah,
because that's the thing.
This day.
So because my brain hadn't developed properly yet, my brother would literally unplug the second player controller and not tell me, and then hand me the controller to play.
Oh, power move!
And because I didn't understand anything better, I was just sitting there with a stupid big grin on my face, being like, "Yeah, we're playing the game together." And then, even though deep down I've been had, essentially, is what's going on.
What's the first game you played with your sibling? Mine was probably like Mario Kart again, But I think the one where it's like, okay, you can play with me is probably Tales of Symphonia on the GameCube.
So thinking about it,
That was fun.
I played quite a bit of Mario Kart, I think, with my brother.
Yeah, of course.
Super Mario Kart, mind you.
Oh, but we both suck at that.
Oh, I mean, if I put a little bit of time, I can actually be pretty decent at Super Mario Kart. But
Challenge accepted.
I also, I'm trying to think. See, I remember spending more time playing with my brother first-person shooter games and RTS games specifically. I spent a little bit of time playing Unreal Tournament with him, as well as a very, very small amount of time playing Soldier of Fortune 2 with him. And
so by RTS, do you mean what is it? Red Alert or Red Faction?
Yeah, it's a Red Alert, Red Faction. Oh my god.
Oh, sorry, Command and Conquer is what I was thinking of.
Yeah. No, it's Red Alert 2 was actually one of the games that I spent quite a bit of time playing with him.
My cousin loves that game. I'm not really good at it.
No, Red Alert 2 went through such a phase because originally, way back in the day before EA really bought out Westwood Studios, which is what Command and Conquer was originally owned by.
Now there's no games of it anymore.
Well, so they're remastering Red Alert 1, which... It's EA. I don't know how I feel about that, but good luck. But with Red Alert 2, because obviously the online finally died at this point, there's been a really big push for online support through a fan mod, which I play every now and then. So the game runs really nice now.
Yeah, of course. When they get at it, they get at it. Like, what was it? There's this old shooter game, FPS, Strife, I think it was. Yeah, that thing got, like, before you had to aim with the keyboard. And then they added, mouse support. It was like, boom, you fixed the game.
Yeah. But Red Alert 2
Modders are great.
Red Alert 2 was definitely one of my childhood games for sure that I played a lot. I remember getting that. I played hours and hours of that game. Yeah, so
I had a lot of SpongeBob PC games. Those were a lot different than obviously because they kind of designed them with in mind. Not a lot of computers are going to be able to run this, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of them were point and clicks, and I was like, oh, so I think SpongeBob might have been my introduction to point and clicks, besides like Pajama Sam and Spy Fox.
So I had played.
I think those count.
I had played a lot of Monkey Island throughout the years with my mom and my brother.
That was later in my life.
Yeah. So like we owned the original Monkey Island and Monkey Island 2 and Monkey Island 3 really. So I remember those were a lot of fun to play, as well as Day of the Tentacle. I used to play back in the day with them. We played a little bit of Full Throttle, but I didn't really understand it until I was much older.
We kind of look like the two guys from Day of the Tentacle, don't we?
What, Bernard and Hoagie?
You'll be like this guy, and then you could be like, ugh. What's up, bro? What's up, Washington?
But yeah, those were the I tried to play Sam & Max a couple times and I couldn't just get it back then. That's definitely a game I need to really just go for again.
I love Sam & Max, dude. I played the original and the Telltale ones.
Yeah.
But I do like the Telltale ones more just because I think the guy got Sam better. I think it's kind of hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's a personal preference because I think he's supposed to be kind of like a more of a foil to Max. He's not supposed to be all this crazy dude, even though the cartoon was crazy, man.
Right.
Yeah, that already did.
You okay there?
No. I was thinking. I'm like, how far am I gonna derail myself here? What else is there to talk about in this little field we got?
So I actually have a few other games that I could talk about just personally myself. I can talk about like a couple systems that I remember like the first time I got them, like the excitement, because PlayStation 2, I believe Grand Theft Auto 3 and Gran Turismo 3 were part of that. It's unfortunate as we're dropping frames right now. So I don't know.
It's fine. You have the recording going.
I do have a recording going, so I guess we'll just have to keep going and deal with it. So yeah, I remember I remember PlayStation 2 being a super exciting thing back then because that was the big jump really from how well we could actually get graphics going on a system.
How many times in your life did you have, man, this game is great. things are never gonna get better than this.
Uh,
Our game's gonna look in 2300.
You know, the only thing I ever say about that specifically is Mario.
It's timelessly visualized.
Well, the thing is that like you can always just keep creating new levels for Mario. Obviously with Mario Maker, that's just how it is. You know, you can just keep creating a level and keep creating a level. It's the story that always gets me on how they're gonna take it basically to the next level. You know, it's like when you look at, you know, original Mario, that was a thing. Super Mario
The
World
storyline was pretty tense. Yeah, every time you went into a castle, you're like, "What's gonna happen? Is it gonna be another Toad?"
Well, what I'm saying
I don't
is that like if you look at a game like Mario 1 and 2, like not specifically Super like the Doki Doki Panic Mario 2, but just Mario 1 and 2 were basically the same game, and they were just, you know, run through the level and rescue the cat or rescue the princess.
Rescue the cat.
So,
That's Mario 3D World, man.
but like when you keep going, then you have Super Mario World, which is now
World Select.
yeah, they expanded it by showing. Well, I mean, Mario 3 is also kind of the same.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna skip that. Oops.
But like they expanded it by showing off this world. Super Mario 64 kind of had it where they, you know, obviously now Mario's in the 3D aspect.
Yeah, and it's a lobby too, kind of. So it's still kind of a world select, but
it's
isolated.
It's vastly different enough to that point. But now when they got to Mario 64, you know, it came to the point of like, okay, now we have hit that limit of, you know, we've expanded to the dimension of where we can't really go any further in that regard. So now it became the issue of like, you know, what kind of story can we tell? Because obviously that's basically what Mario 64 was in its infancy, which of the Mario stages was just. It's kind of telling a basic story in a sense. You know, Bowser, I guess, captured stars. You have to go into each world and help whatever basic story is going on and plot and help them to find stars for Mario, essentially. And they did the same thing with that in Super Mario Sunshine, except they used shines, but they also had a more overlaying plot of, you know, Delphino Island has been ravaged by graffiti, ink, and goop.
Yeah.
And we don't know why, and you know there's all this reason, and there's mystery and all that kind of stuff that was really brought into that kind of game. The next step was, you know, taking it to a space, I guess.
Galaxy, I think, was like I wasn't around for the 64 jump, so the Galaxy jump was like, whoa! I had to beg for my parents to get it.
Yeah, so I mean, like Galaxy 1 and 2, you know, I for just the sake
I never
of,
played 2. I think I mentioned that again. But.
So for the sake of just like labeling it as such, Galaxy 1 and 2 are generally the same game. I mean, they're not, obviously there's plenty of different things in there, but for, you know, they're run on the same engine. The levels are basically played and built the same, just different, which is fine.
I think Galaxy 1 kind of had the interesting side story aspect that played into the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like Mario hasn't had that yet, where it's like, oh, you know, this background lore is pretty important. Go read the storybook.
But like after that, it became that's the point where I was like, okay, so what's next? What can we do here? What can we do to make Mario keep going? And obviously that at that point as well was when New Super Mario Brothers came out and they brought back the 2D side-scrolling. And that's when I realized, you know, that like, okay, so I'm perfectly fine just continuously playing more and more levels just in Mario fashion, and that's fine, you know. But as far as like stories and stuff go, like I just my mind was kind of baffled of like, what else can they do? Super Mario 3D World and Land.
I feel like they've gone underappreciated because I think they are great games.
They're
it's
really
just, like,
solid games. Like there's nothing wrong with them, and every time I play both of them, they're perfectly fine and fun. There's nothing wrong with them. There's just something that's not as stellar, I find, with them. You know, everybody.
I think I get that too.
I remember when World came out, and everybody was just like, you know, oh my gosh, this is amazing. You know, IGN 9.5 out of 10, 9.8 out of 10. And like, I played it. I really enjoyed 3D World. I 100%ed it for the most part, minus a few of those stickers, which are everybody has to get to the flagpole on every level, because that's a thing.
I think it kind of lacked a sense of, I guess, cohesion and a jump, because the plot is kind of the same. Like, you got the things happening. Bowser did a spicy, and I think jumping ahead for you. Odyssey kind of flipped the lid on that, at least personally.
Yeah, so Odyssey was where I even though I didn't care for Odyssey that much as well, and I apologize to everybody who thought Odyssey was a great game. I do appreciate it. I do understand fully that it is a fantastic game. There was something about Odyssey that I wasn't just, I don't know. It didn't
I
click
think
to
it's the
me.
play style, probably. The
It,
the fact that the objectives aren't as hard coded as other Mario games are.
it's possible that's true. I mean, it was a difference in change because with Odyssey, it felt more like an open world. It was an open world experience, really.
Yeah.
So you'd walk up to something and you'd get the moon, and you would then continue from that point. So, which honestly speaking, even though I'm not the biggest fan of it, I really think that was the right way to go. I think that was the correct thing to do, and I think they should be, appreciated for doing.
Applauded.
Applaud. Thank you.
I thought that the reveal of Odyssey was like one of the most exciting times for me, for Mario, because it was like, wow, look at where they're going with this,
Yeah.
When I look back, I do kind of agree. I love the impact it had, but I didn't. I wouldn't say it's my favorite Mario game still, but that's a hard question.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. The thing, like, I think it might be time to maybe actually go back and play Odyssey again for the second time. Because it's been, what, 3 years now? Has it been that long? Almost?
I kind of wish they added another world or something within this time frame.
Well, I just think, I don't know. There's just something that never really just drove me to want to play any more of that. Maybe it just was the overworld stuff that I just wasn't really gearing on.
But like, I think I would go back if they added another world, just because I thought that they had a good framework in mind. It's like, well, you could explore this elaborate world, and obviously designing a world's not just going to take a month. It's going to take a lot of time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it wouldn't have hurt if they added more, or added more worlds to go through, or did something similar like what's going to bring you back? Waluigi Worlds. I don't know. He adds a challenge area or something.
Now, I understand that I did miss a lot of stuff by not playing a lot of the after game. It's totally, I totally get that there was a lot to still do.
But there has to be a thing that would incentivize you to do so to begin with. If you feel like you don't have to, I think there's a fairness in that. Sometimes a post game, like Pokemon for example, Pokemon doesn't really have a stellar post game most of the time anyway.
Yeah. But well, I mean, they started to do, yeah, I guess that's kind of true. The post game from, like, if you think about Pokemon Yellow or Red, Blue, Yellow, it was go into this super extra cave that's extremely and more obnoxiously harder, and that was it. Now
Mewtwo's like, ooh.
Now I will say that Gold and Silver, Crystal, that was I still think to this day that is the best extra second half of Pokemon out there.
I think I'm on the opposite end of that. I felt like it wasn't as developed. It was cool because they fit two things into one thing. But
well, the thing,
I wish they progressed something there, because I mean, at the end of the day, you just fight the same Elite Four, don't you?
No. So the thing is, how it works is that once you got the other 8 badges in Kanto in that game, then you go into Mount Silver and you go and fight Red.
But I thought you could fight the Elite Four again.
You can, and you can get money for doing it perfectly fine. But it was more so that you get the badges on and the Kanto side of it, and you can go into Mount Silver to go fight Red.
Yeah, it's been a while since I watched your playthrough or played it myself.
So
Soul Silver.
Now the thing,
but I think I gotta say that I love it when you have to fight yourself in a game, kind of to a degree.
Yeah, and that's
like you get to fight Kiryu a lot in Yakuza. That's cool. But like in this, it's like, oh man, that's you. You're the secret guy.
Yeah. But the thing is that, like, if you look at even going through just Johto by itself, it's decently long, I thought.
Right.
There's a lot to do still in just that half of Johto, even though it's not. I guess it could have been maybe a little bit longer. Obviously, they fixed a lot of that stuff when they introduced Heart Gold, Soul Silver out there. But the thing is that even though Kanto is kind of barren in its own right, there still was a little bit of story to be kind of done throughout that. Fixing the part at the power plant. Each gym kind of had almost like an unlock that you had to do, and there was just different things that were available to you so you could do. And they really did solve that issue too in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, because there's a lot more that they added to fix that altogether. But the thing I liked about it is that even though it wasn't that long, I kind of liked that it wasn't that long, because it was a nice kind of breeze over. And more so, like when you look at fighting it or doing Kanto, you're taking on the gym leaders at their maximum power, as opposed to, you know, their I only have one badge. This is what you should, because that's kind of how the flow of when you go through the whole game, and even in the anime itself, how they based it off of. Because like all of the gym leaders that Ash fought, you know, there's a couple of them that do say, you know, oh, you only have, you know, 3 badges, so I will only use, you know, these 2 Pokemon for this battle. Whereas when you fought all the Kanto gym leaders, I think they had 4 or 5 plus Pokemon, almost always. I don't think they had anything else. Or I think they were basically using everything that they had. So it was kind of more of like, okay, so I've leveled up my Pokemon to quite a bit. Here's the challenge.
Right.
I'd also like to say...
I guess I never considered that explanation, that it's a, what do you call it? It's another... They reserve the Pokemon they use depending on your badge. I never considered that. That's actually kind of clever.
Yeah. So, well, that's why they started introducing the rematches. Because, you know, the thing is that, you know, it's not supposed to be, you know, you battle the hardest. If every gym leader was as hard as possible, then nobody would get badges, and I think then it'd be kind of dumb in a sense of lore. So, which is already kind of that thing when you go through it, and it's like, you know, kid has, you know, the youngster Joey or whatever has his Rattata and nothing else.
Me pasted with my face over the youngster. I think my thing is just like I just kind of have a bias. I feel like Johto is one of my least favorites. I don't know why. It's hard to say.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Johto Pokemon Gold for me. I remember when I first played it, like I was just in bed constantly. At night, like at midnight, you know, it'd be. Oh,
like, you were playing gamer in real life. Your mom would open the door, and you have.
Yeah, exactly. That's totally it. 100% true. I was playing legitimate gamer in my bed because like it'd be like 11:30 at night, and I'd be playing there in the dark with, you know, my Game Boy. I had the little attachment for the original Game Boy Color that would light up give me a light. And so every time the door opened, I would make sure to, like, you know, I'd pull the light out as quickly as possible, so it seemed like I was. You know, it's still sleeping in the dark and everything. I'd have to hide my Game Boy underneath my bed every time I'd go to bed because, you know, I didn't want her to come in and, you know, get mad at me and take it away from me and all that kind of stuff.
That's crazy. I've never had that happen.
Well, you know, the sad...
like, you're playing games too long at night.
The sad part about that is that, like, that's part of the childhood that I really miss and wish that I could get that feeling back within me. Because, like, nowadays it's like I could stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning and play games, and if anything, I feel kind of crappier doing that, all things considered, instead of, you know, feeling like, oh yeah, I'm sneaking and playing the game. I don't know, maybe it was just the challenge of trying to get as far as I can while, you know, not having or not, you know, upsetting my parents and all that kind of stuff.
I think it's more important to just remember your childhood than go back to living it.
I suppose that's true too. No, I don't want to go to
bed.
No.
It's your birthday tomorrow.
It's not my birthday.
You're going to be too tired to celebrate at Chuck E. Cheese's. Man, that's my favorite. We're going to Islands Burger, and I was like, this isn't Chuck E. Cheese.
Islands Burger?
What are we talking about? What? Yeah, it's a I don't think it's local, but it's like a Red Robin's but worse.
You know, I've never actually been to a Red Robin's before.
I like Red Robin's enough. I spent a lot of birthdays there. What are we talking about? Mario, huh?
I don't know. We talked about that for a while. I have a couple of other games first things.
So I think I want to cover the Let's Play part of things because I'm interested in your side of that. Like, do you remember what your first stream was? Because and your first playthrough. Do you remember how that felt?
Actually, yes, I do. Because believe it or not, I'm actually impressed you asked me that question because when I was going through monetizing everything on YouTube for the past week or last week, there is
an announcement.
There is the first 7 episodes of me playing Wind Waker on stream that are uploaded on YouTube.
How old was that?
I think that was 2010, maybe 2011.
Was it left audio?
No, I don't think so. I think it was stereo.
Whoa!
I
Carl upgraded.
I'm actually curious to go back and watch those myself because that was ages ago.
Let's do that next podcast.
That's not. But
What are you talking about?
That I'm pretty sure was my first
Link below
stream.
so that people could watch it.
Yeah, I probably should.
So they don't have to look for it. That'd be funny.
Go back. That was on Ustream.
It was a stream on what? Yeah, Ustream. Sorry.
Yeah. So that was a long time ago, and that was way back when streaming was just in its infancy too. I think like we had probably like almost 70 or 80 people show up for that stream too.
Goodness.
Yeah,
I don't think I was part of that.
back when people cared and people thought I was cool and popular, and nowadays they're just like nah.
you just thanked people for watching your content, and now you're belittling them.
I just wanted to see the speed face. I'm totally kidding. Just watch.
You just like seeing me.
Now I have an emote.
Why do you need more emotes of me? My first stream, no one was there for that. As in this group, it was my friend Camera Core, and then MGL. He shows up here as a Nintendo Switch alt still sometimes.
Yeah.
But my first stream was Crystal Chronicles. In fact, I gotta send you this later. I did an announcement.
Oh.
I don't know if we should show it right now. I'd have to find it. I don't think I swear in it.
You know, I have I have a few of those old announcements that I still just left on there, that are pretty hysterical in their own right.
You want to look at them or?
Nah, not today. Maybe that could be another podcast.
Okay, but it was great. It's basically me being tied to streaming for summer. Oh, my screen froze. Am I good? Oh, no, I'm fine.
No, you didn't actually freeze for me, so.
Oh, okay, that's good. But yeah, the first stream. Do you remember how that felt?
You know, so the thing is that I think, technically speaking, the first stream that we ever did was actually the All Night Gameathon 1. So that was we had no moderators for that. We had to just kind of assign people that we just kind of trusted, and
we barely have moderators nowadays.
So the thing is that when we do an All Night Gameathon, I am so focused more so on making sure the stream is rolling and making sure the game is basically going. Troy has always been the other half of that, where he's the one that's actually more active with you guys. So, you know, that's kind of part of the reason why we do work out that well with that kind of stuff. That being said, like, I remember that stream was rough because we had internet issues still back then, believe it or not. And
wasn't the first? No, the second one was canceled, right? Or the thunderstorm.
Was it canceled because of a thunderstorm?
I thought you had bad internet because there was a thunderstorm outside.
That might have been true.
It was one of them.
I don't remember.
Oh, wait, it was the first one because the first one never had finished.
Yeah, we didn't finish the first one.
So then the second one was actually the first one that finished.
Yeah, it was so frustrating. I wish that first one would have gone through all the way, but the second one was the one I think that really just kind of, took off finally.
Mm-hmm.
After
my eye and lips are getting dry because I have a fan.
So
after
after we did the All Night Gameathon, it was when I decided, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to stream on my own channel and see what happens by doing a live stream like that.
How old were you doing that?
I was like 16 or 17, probably.
16.
When I did that.
I was 15 during my first stream.
So you were a baby back during the first All Night Gameathon.
You know what? I was so happy. It was like the third one. I was like, "Hey Troy, you're not even playing Star Fox at this point." I'm like, "Hey Troy, can you say, oh, I can't let you do that, Star Fox?" And then he says it, and I'm like, "Ooh." He said he read my comment. I'm so special. And nowadays, I get to say whatever the heck I want on your platform.
But yeah, I remember. I think I think it's always been a thing where it's like I don't show my true emotions better than what I lead on to be, because I'm sure I was nervous. I don't remember that first stream all that well, to be honest, but like I got to imagine I was nervous during both of those. I just don't remember it all that well. I might not have been, all things considered. It's easier to hide. Back in that time, because I wasn't doing cam or anything like that. It's so much easier to hide behind everything when there's no camera just staring at you. So, but even with a camera, like I was fully able to walk out and do that.
I see you, Carl.
The strangest thing too is that like there's so I did my recital, my senior recital in college, and that was actually streamed, and I have recordings of that as well.
Really?
That was the most interesting thing I think I've done, in the sense that when I walked out onto the stage by myself, mind you, I had an accompanist or pianist as it is.
You were moonwalking.
It's one of those things where it's like, when you play for so long in front of a person who just, basically gives you this, and then you start playing the music. Sorry for you not being able to watch. Basically, when you use your hands to conduct, a downbeat essentially to, start the music, you get so in tune and used to that kind of thing. When you're by yourself like that, there's nobody that just tells you, go.
Yeah. Go
right now. Go. It's just more of like, you just go when you're ready, I guess. So, and then like when you get halfway through it, I there's this strange this feeling of like, I am already halfway through this. Like, am I being like a complete idiot or something? Have I done something horribly wrong? And like nothing's wrong or anything. There's nothing to be indicated it's wrong, but it's just more of like, there's nobody that's like giving you this green light that says, you're good, you're still good, everything's fine, and like that's kind of where I get the stem of, if I didn't stream so much, regardless of before and after, like that would have been probably a more traumatic and terrifying experience than it wasn't really.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess like when I look at it, it's like I had, back when I was, in middle school and doing band, that was just whatever, you're kids, the process and all that kind of, understand that kind of stuff. I did 4 years in marching band too, so I had a lot more being forced to kind of be more vocal and being forced to, kind of do my thing when I had to. So when I first did YouTube, obviously we did a very poor job of it as we started VG Don'ts, which ended up becoming a terrible idea. We quickly,
you wouldn't know.
You guys wouldn't know, but we were quickly to destroy that and end that, and then start again on a much better and more positive and solid track all through that. So, I had YouTube, and then streaming. I just kind of looked at it and was like, well, this is just recording videos.
You consider it a side thing, I think.
Yeah, at the time it really was a side thing, and then it kind of became more of like streams were more becoming prominent.
Mm-hmm.
In a
they
sense.
still kind of are. I think streaming is still kind of the what's outweighing videos at the moment.
It's
personally,
it's hard to kind of think about that too, because it's strange. Like, you look at the views on a video versus the views on my Twitch stream right now. So we have 9 viewers right now. We've had around like 10 to 12 generally speaking, so they go in and out. But like, it's hard to see how many people actually watch the stream, how many people continue to watch the stream, but the same thing could be applied over on YouTube videos as well.
Yes.
Which
I think it's easier to see retention on Twitch.
So
whereas on YouTube, it's like, unless someone really says something, you don't know what you're doing wrong or right.
Yeah, so it's really just strange, like wondering if people truly do watch the entirety. And I've heard a lot of people say that they don't like watching streams, like live streams. They're just not into that kind of thing. Which is it's strange to us, but as in my collective of the Discord, basically at this point, all of us are really more geared towards streams, and that's fine. It's just thinking about all those people. That's the reason why I went back to YouTube, is because I feel like I did ditch a lot of those people.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm sure when a lot, and somebody posted on there, like when I released the announcement that said that I'm basically done with YouTube because I'd rather just go stream. I didn't really think about that in the sense of like,
everyone's gonna follow.
yeah, everyone's gonna follow it, but more to the point, I didn't really think about it as like, I had a thing that was still technically going on there. Why did I stop that? So, I think
I feel like you would consider it probably like one of the,
yeah.
Would you consider it a mistake or?
Yeah, no, that
Okay.
I think I would consider a mistake at that point, but I guess it's just, you learn throughout all the years, if I truly said to myself that I am a failure in my entirety and I did not learn anything, I think even I'd be kidding myself at this point. So, but have I made mistakes? Sure. I totally have made plenty of mistakes in my life.
I should have went with a different name instead of Afternoon Casuals.
Well, that's your fault. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that.
I wish I could change the speed slasher thing. But then oh man, my webcam. Sorry. There's a guy who was in my chat recently who was called Mr. Speedy Slasher, and apparently he likes to do a lot of puns or anti-jokes or whatever. It's just funny.
Sounds like he's right up your alley then.
Not really. In terms of like, sometimes I'll say a pun, but that's not my half of my dialogue.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see him just randomly show up.
Who's got it? Mistakes, I've made a few, but then again, too few to mention.
I'll do it your way. For Afternoon Casuals, my first stream was weird because it's like, well, I don't think I'm gonna get an audience for this, and I didn't really get one. So I didn't really continue after that, just because it's like I don't really have a community besides people on maybe YouTube,
right?
And I even know if they're watching that, because like this is before I was really in this group either. Like I was a fan, but obviously I'm not as integrated as I am here. But I was like, streaming's a little more difficult, but now it's like I think it's a little easier.
Yeah, I mean, now that we've kind of gotten, and the other thing too is that streaming back then was very difficult.
Well, mine was 2014 or something, 2013, 2014. Yeah. So that's not. At that point, it was a little easier actually, because like you get the OBS. OBS was just more available at that time, I'd assume.
Yeah, and at that time too, like internet, like was there, but wasn't there. Quality options are kind of there, so.
It was a learning experience, if anything.
Yeah.
I don't think the game was the best pick either, especially because I was playing it on my own. I think Johnny was in the background for one, because I streamed Crystal Chronicles probably twice.
Yeah.
And Johnny was just like, "Oh, I don't know what you're doing, Kevin, but you sure lost that boss." And I was like, "Oh yeah, thanks, Johnny."
And then the Afternoon Casuals were born right then and there.
No, they weren't. They were. I was already hour ahead of YouTube at that point. I feel like I've told this story a couple of times, but at the point where my channel was made, the Afternoon Casuals, Johnny and I weren't really friends. We kind of were acquaintances through our friend Austin, and we were joking about the idea, oh, we should do a playthrough where we both don't like each other.
Yeah.
Or something. And now he exists in my life. To put it nicely. But that was like kind of a learning phase for both of us in terms of like how to present ourselves. And unfortunately, Johnny doesn't follow the proper protocol half the time still. But it was a lot more tame if you watch the first Harvest Moon, and then if you watch like Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know each other at that point. And I think you said that you didn't really know Troyce at the point you started Boogie Carl, right?
We had known each other pretty okay by that point. I mean, we didn't know each other that long, I'd say, but it wasn't so much so that like we were just like, hi, I don't know who you are, but let's make videos, we had, we had been playing we had an Xbox that had other methods available on it.
Still use that sometimes. Don't even try to sugarcoat it.
I still use it from time to time. It shows up from the grave. Me and my brother have a running joke that like at some point this thing is going to die. It is on its last legs. The power cable sucks. Like it's what is keeping this thing alive is the biggest question. So
Ooh.
we used to hang out and play those games as much as we could, which wasn't enough, I think. But eventually we got to the point where, like, you know, we were able to kind of just start recording our own things. You know, he was doing his YouTube channel, I was doing my YouTube channel. And whenever we could, we would come over to hang out and record. So, you know, it just we never had a problem. Well, I mean, we had plenty of problems, but we never had just like the regret of recording videos, I think, ever between us.
Okay.
So
What do you mean by regret?
well, like, I've never really felt that a Troy and Carl video has never just kind of worked. You know, Troy will say otherwise, and that's fine. I respect his decision because I have a couple playthroughs of Troy and Carl that have never been seen before. He refuses to let me upload them because he thinks they're not that great. And personally, I think they're perfectly fine myself. But I think all of you guys would be like, "Oh, this is amazing," even though
we should add. You know what? I was telling Carl this. You should add like a VHS effect and like say it like the lost videos. I was thinking of doing that because like the first time I actually recorded something was on a camera pointed towards the screen. It was Mario Party 5 on my birthday.
Oh.
And Johnny wasn't there. It was my friend Josh, which is interesting because Josh is like, out of the friends I hang out with, Josh is probably the oldest one I've known since elementary, followed by Tim. You know him here and there.
Yeah.
And Johnny's my latest like in the group, I think, because that was high school, but like later high school.
Right.
What's the sophomore? Like I knew my friend Jake and my friend Austin around freshman year, but not Johnny. So I think that's just interesting.
Yeah,
the
the End Talks is unfortunately lost to time. It was on an older
someone random just uploaded
it was on
too, I thought.
It was on the Boogie Troy video or channel as a Troy and Carl play Donkey Kong Country at 2 a.m. But that channel the thing that happened to that channel was somebody hacked into it and just took it, and then they started uploading anime, and then YouTube said
and
no.
that's why you don't like anime.
and then the channel was exploded and gone.
I didn't know that.
And Troy unfortunately didn't have a good method of storing a lot of his stuff, so unfortunately all of his stuff did get lost to time as it is. The only reason I have still a lot of it, obviously, is because the Troy and Carl channel still exists to this day, and I did keep a lot of it too. So
I have all the stuff on this.
Oh, is that one of those portable hard drives?
Yeah, it's a Seagate. What's funny about that is I actually edited that video. It's I edited it with Movie Maker.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is like what do you call it? The audio was terrible because it's on the camera. So I tried to like when I got Vegas through great means, I tried to improve it, but it's like
great.
I don't know. I didn't try that hard because it's like who wants to watch this? Especially you know here's how it would look. So you got like Mario here, right? You know,
right.
And then I still had the hair like this crazily. So sometimes I would show up like this. My hair would be there. You know?
Oh God.
You know, maybe it's worth uploading. Maybe I'll not private, but unlisted. I think that's the one that people can watch.
Nah, you should
be allowed.
Just upload it as stupid kid plays Mario.
Epic 2000. When was my birthday? I think. Oh my gosh, I was in middle school. That was even before Afternoon Casuals. There's a lot of stuff before Afternoon Casuals, like how Johnny wasn't supposed to be the guy I was gonna play through with. Stuff.
You mean back in the day when you used to upload Roblox videos?
No, Blockland.
Is that Blockland?
Yeah.
Oh, you're.
I never uploaded a Roblox video.
Oh.
You want me to? I could.
Yeah. Yeah. Woo. Yeah.
Well, then you have to. What's it? Ring Fit Adventure.
What?
You have to do Wii Fit. You got the webcam, now abuse it.
So I have
do
to
anti-grav.
So wait. What you're saying here is that I have to do Wii Fit on as a YouTube video.
I don't know anymore.
And you have to do Roblox. Is this what we've
I
come
feel
to?
like that's a bunk deal because like making a Roblox video would be kind of easy actually. Yours is more like you gotta work. Mine is just like, hey man, I remember playing this back in 2007. You can find my account at flamecannon8 at roblox.com or whatever they have it. You could find that I made funny images. I uploaded things I didn't own. Like I uploaded a Kirby ninja thing. I was like, this is my shirt.
Wow.
Roblox is way different than it is now.
I'm sure it probably is.
Because like now it's like I dropped off when they changed the body shape. It's not like a cube anymore. Anyway,
That seems so. So
Mhm.
Roblox elitist.
I'm not gatekeeping or elitism anything. I'm just saying it's not what I remember. What are you trying to pull? This is what I'm elitist about.
Yeah, whatever. Nobody
There's
cares
no
about
other
that.
footage on Twitch about getting master.
Did you 100% the game yet, though?
I don't have another game pack of it, and it would be ill-advised to ask some poor worker to deliver that to me. I don't. Do you know what's the worst part? The actual Collins Crown is at home, so it's like I can't even play it right now.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I left. Like Magical Melody is there. That's why I haven't thought about that event yet, where I just play that for like 12 hours.
That seems like a lot of work for that, but I don't know. I'm sure it'll be great. It'll be great. You'll make some videos for that. You'll play the game. It'll be great. Okay. I suppose we should, unless you have anything else to talk about, as first times stuff.
First time you swore out loud in front of your parents playing video games. Roblox. No, I don't
think I've done that actually. I don't know.
My notes aren't out. I wrote. No, I spoke about most everything. Magical Melody, and that in retrospect though, that is. I don't think you'd know anyone else who'd be like, yeah, let's build this channel off of Harvest Moon Magical Melody. Am I right? That's a weird pick, but I think the reason why Johnny and I considered being friends is like he was the first guy I knew who was like, dude, I love Harvest Moon, and then he doesn't know how to play it. how that thing is like him looking at the. I wish you had a webcam at that point, because every time we'd play, he would look at the controller, looking for the C stick. That's great.
You just couldn't figure out where the C stick was on his controller.
Well, no, not the C. Sorry, the X and Y.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's hard to do. Those buttons
Not
are
if
awkward.
you're a big brain. It's cool. It's cool seeing other people's responses here. Like Dolly posted earlier too. Her first game was like Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
Leave a comment on the YouTube video too for your first games. If you do videos, what was your first?
And
we're interested to know.
We can attest. We do respond. We do look at and respond to comments that are left on there.
Carl shows me some because I obviously don't have a feed of
yes,
Carl.
Yes, if your comment is super good, then I will
What?
show it to Speed Slasher here.
LG and Dolly, I think you two have been shown to me. LG was like, yeah, good thing you mentioned A Wonderful Life, and I'm like, I sure did. It's a game I like.
All right, so we're kind of running out of time here. If we want to keep around the 2 hours,
yeah.
So let's probably move on here. It's time for a commercial, and Speed here is gonna advertise us something.
Are you playing music right now or what?
Oh, I can't. Hold on. Oh God, you guys don't want to see that.
Me!
Oh.
I won! Me!
Look, Chris just subscribed. Chris wants us to talk for another hour.
Aren't we gonna do that?
Okay. Well, here let's switch this song here. There you go.
Raymond in boxes. Send me.
What? I'm sorry. What did you say?
Raymond in boxes. Are you looking for Raymond? Well, I've got him in boxes for your Animal Crossing village. Do you not understand this?
No, I kind of get it.
Tell us
He
how
is
you
on-
got it, Speed.
What?
Tell us
cut
how
out.
you got it, Speed.
How to get him?
Yeah.
Send me your firstborn child
Oh God.
and a note in blood certifying that if you send Raymond away, I send your firstborn away.
Look, are you doing this just because you lost Ricardo?
No, I miss him. Raymond in boxes. I've got him covered. Just come on over. Bring me the firstborn. Kind of like how you give Blathers the first thing you get. You give Blathers the firstborn child. You give me the.
You okay?
Hey, Carl, please stop me. This is not a good. I thought it was gonna be a funny bit because I was like, oh no, he's gonna ask me what to commercialize, and I'm like, the first thing I thought of was selling Raymond in boxes, but that was the furthest I got with that.
Pretty terrible advertising here. I'm disappointed. You're fired.
Give me your firstborn, Carl.
No.
And I'll give you Raymond in boxes.
Oh, okay.
He'll be there.
Well, all right.
The
Right.
discourse on Raymond is crazy. Look it up if you have.
Okay.
I like that song.
You're okay there. So, welcome back,
This is a bop.
everybody, to the Please Don't Watch This podcast.
Right? Raymond in boxes.
Rayman in Boxes, our sponsor.
Rayman in boxes.
Our sponsor, I think. Okay, so we just got done talking about first
Yeah.
YouTube stream playthrough of games plus just our childhood.
Firstborn child.
No, stop. So we're gonna go ahead and switch gears here to probably a little bit of a shorter topic here. We had talked about this for a while. We were going to do the Hexagon Inc. fighting game character roster,
Right.
which is going to comprise of you guys in the chat here, some of you guys in the chat here.
Oh,
as
you
well
did. I did characters.
as well as characters. I think would be good. So I my understanding is that now I need to load this thing or show a picture of this on the stream here, which I don't know how I'm gonna do.
Well, we're gonna edit it, so can you just like crop it?
That's what I'm
You
trying
think?
to figure out how to go about, which I think I can just do it this way. Okay.
Anyway, so while you're doing that, what's the name of this fighting game? I've been thinking about that.
Oh,
I
that's
can't think of a good
question.
name. Hexagon.
Hexagon.
Hexagoners. Heck fight.
Heck fight. All right.
Hexadecimation. Ooh, that's a good one.
Let me get this shown on stream here.
If you can think of one, let us know. What's a good name for a fighting game? And hello, Rob. Welcome.
What's up, Rob?
I don't think I probably said hi to Chris too.
I haven't
Did I
said
say
hi to
hi to
much of
LG?
everybody. Thank you all, by the way, for hosting me. I
And One
appreciate
Red.
that.
I didn't say hi to One Red. One Red, thanks for coming around. It's always good to see you. Sorry I can't make it to your molecular.
Yeah,
mayhem.
quick. You have 10 seconds to tell us exactly what you're working on. It's free advertisement. Ready? Go.
It's it's for educational gains for children ranging from elementary to middle school or beyond, depending.
Wow, that's pretty nice.
Don't remember the company right now.
Oops.
Digital Landscape, Digimon. Why am I still up here, Carl? Bring me down.
I'm working on it.
Scary
Hold
up
on.
here. It's too high.
I'm working on it. Trying to get this. There we go.
You know, it's a sad thing. Johnny wanted to be a pilot, right? But he he told me he was scared of heights.
That would be problematic for being a pilot, but you know.
Yeah, and also he's tall, so he wouldn't fit in the thing, supposedly. And also his eyesight's bad. But I think that's like the pretty sad. Thanks for Raymond in boxes.
Yes, that.
Check out my cool poster.
How many times can Speed reference the poster?
I think I've mentioned it 5 to 6. I should take it off and then like show it, but gosh, I hate the back of my head. The headphones. I should just get earbuds. But this makes it so I could hear it on the outside. So I would, but your hair's in the way. Yeah, that's why it's like when I show it off, you get to see it. Tom, you're being a little rapscallion right now. I have to search my lexicon for a not swear. Because I'm so used to swearing at Tom, even though we don't talk a lot. What's the tier list for? I don't know.
Give me a second.
Give Carl a moment. He's figuring things out.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna adjust my hair. Check this out. I'm part of the Uchiha bloodline. I don't know. A lot of this music now that we're listening to, by the way, are ones that I picked because Carl went for a walk, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I just fill this out.
I thought wouldn't be that bad, but I guess it is.
Come on, yeah. Every podcast now is like 3 hours.
I know that.
None of my, well, maybe one. Not a lot of these people are. Ooh.
Get some better music for this.
Not a lot of my list is what do you call it? People in the chat. I feel like
I could keep people out of the chat out. I just thought it'd be, but I have a couple. The ones that I throw in here, I think would be the most optimal, where we don't bring in people from the chat. So no. But okay, so what do we want to start
This
with?
is a fighting game tier list, so it's not really about you as a person. It's your fightability. Right?
So well, first things first is there a reason why there are 2 boxes per section? I guess.
What do you mean? Well, I don't know how many people we got on the list. Unfortunately, I kind of did this before, quickly.
Okay, so no, I mean just like is there like character and then character notes, or is it just?
Well, how do you want to do it? I think we'll just do character. And
Okay,
then...
that's fine then. So okay.
So these are different sizes because the one below does not have a letter in it.
Okay, that's fine. So so first things first, let's just get this out of the way. Okay.
Waluigi.
Yeah. So next up, so now that we've gotten that one out of the way here,
Wait, what'd you add? I didn't see it.
I added Waluigi.
An S? I
Yeah.
didn't see it.
Oh.
Did you press enter or something?
Do I have to?
I did. It's been a while since I used the Excel sheet with other people. Let me refresh. Maybe it's my end.
It says last said it was seconds ago.
Okay, now I see it. Oh, why is it taking up 2? Okay, well, that's Waluigi. I wrote down notes for Waluigi. He's the Shoto / the main character of the fighting game.
Personally, I don't think any reason. There's a reason why Waluigi isn't a fighter in Smash. He'd be too overpowered.
Yeah, you were saying this last time.
Yeah, so that's just how it is.
What's his moveset like? What does he do?
Are we basing this off of Smash Brothers, or is it going to be
You
more?
can do whatever you. I kind of did more fighting game kind of generalities. I didn't really go too specific for these, but
Well, clearly he's got a punch. He's got a kick.
that's all he needs.
Yeah, I mean that's basically all he needs.
He's got stomp.
I think he would have maybe like a tennis racket that he could use as a weapon, or maybe a golf club. I think I could
His
see him doing
hitbox is insane. They need to fix that, or his hurt boxes. Like his leg is so long, it's half screen. That's not fair.
that. Yeah, so I think that
Banned
would
from tournaments.
be his 2 primary things, or his weapons of choice, per se. But I mean, I personally, I don't think there's too much more that we need to just kind of talk about him. I think he's perfect.
All right, I'll
as is.
accept it just because I am a
You don't get a
subordinate.
choice on that one.
Is that fair enough?
you don't get a choice on that one. That's just how it is.
All right, so the next character I wrote down here. So from these on, we'll just discuss where we think they belong in the tier list. I got the Mojif man.
Oh man, okay.
So he's a grappler. So he I at least I think so, because he would be slower, but he would have a lot of health and do big damage. And his taunt, he eats a burger to regain health.
Yeah.
He has a special where he awakens to the machine because he's the Mojif man. He's got to have the machine-like qualities, kind of like Dolly. And I think his finisher is, instead of beat down, it's eat down, and the game becomes MA and he devours the other character.
So does he eat and then like lasers come out of his eyes?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I feel like that would be maybe a B or A tier kind of character.
He does sound strong. I'm gonna say B because he's. I feel like grapplers, from my limited knowledge, I feel like grapplers don't typically score too high on tier lists anyway.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've considered that. Okay, do you see that? Do you see
Yes,
that?
I do see that.
Okay. Good. What's your next character?
Okay, so I think this just has to be. I think he goes down here.
You put me there?
Oh, why doesn't that fit? That's not okay.
You know what? Hold on. I got that. I got this covered. Oh, hold on. Give me a moment. I'm working with one hand. There you go.
You should
This might change.
You should shrink the tier.
Yeah, this
section.
might change your. This might change your thing though, unfortunately.
Okay.
But if we make it 14. Oh, is that too tiny?
Oh, that yeah. I'm gonna have to redraw
18?
it. Hold on. Let me just redraw it.
Okay. I think 18's good.
Okay.
Wario's not in this game. Fighting game. He is an assist to Waluigi. Waluigi can summon Wario. Mike Meekins, I wrote him. He is a joke character.
Yeah.
He's the Dan of the fighting game.
The Dan.
Yeah, from Dan Hibiki from Street Fighter. He's the joke.
Okay. All right.
Mike Meekins' moveset is to scream really loudly.
No, see, I
So-
think that's his ultimate. I think like he trips over everything, and that's how he attacks.
He did avoid. He did get stabbed, right?
Yeah.
But he
No.
fought him off a little.
No,
so.
he just fainted.
Yeah, I think he belongs in F. Unfortunately, why am I saying unfortunately?
Can we get an F for Mike Meekins?
F. I get it because you put him in F tier.
All right.
All right. Daisy. I think Daisy would be pretty good. I think she's a rush down character, so she does big combo, right? She could do one of her specials is she does whoosh, right? Like the slap she did to Bowser. But I think what kind of holds her back a little is her moveset would be RNG based, so there's a lot of luck.
I
in her
couldn't
moves.
put anything other than Daisy being in D tier or F tier. Anybody
I
that
feel like
buys a
C
phone to buy
tier.
a
I don't
phone
think
and
she'd
then
be that
sell a
low.
phone.
I mean, she's also pretty high in Smash.
I don't care. This is not Smash Brothers.
Well, I don't want to compromise to D, but I mean, I don't know. Well, people said one red, two blue, not people. He said D, so I guess we'll give him that. I don't know. I think you're overlooking her capabilities.
Look, her ultimate would be to buy a phone so she could buy a phone and then not buy anything.
Nowadays, that's a powerful move.
That is a powerful move. It's true. All right, put her in C tier.
Oh, well, good. That was convincing. That was somehow convincing. All right, who's your next character?
Okay, so Toad. Let's talk about Toad for a second.
Toad.
As it has been recently confirmed, I do appreciate Toad, and I feel like that he belongs. He could have a desk at Hexagon Inc. someday. So, Toad has taken a lot. Toad has survived a lot. Even though he's not really all that much help to Bowser or in fighting Bowser, I mean, he's been there. He's showed up at the mansion. He's helped Princess Peach and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like he could at least be maybe a plausible C, D,
C.
maybe B. A B
Now,
is kind of pushing it, I think.
Here's the advantage of Toad. He's a short character.
He is.
And short characters actually have a good advantage because a lot of the moves just don't land on them. With that being said, I still think C because I feel like his moveset would be kind of limited still, I think.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like he doesn't have a lot of options.
Sure.
Okay. I like how deliberate we're being about. Oh, sorry, lowercase. My bad. Man, we had 3 Mario characters on here.
Oh, wait, we have to pause for a second, get up and stretch.
All right. Hi, Bright. I'm gonna stand off here, and I'm gonna just show my leg. Oh, jeez, my pants I rolled up.
I actually haven't stretched like this in
Check
quite
this
a while.
out. Check this out. Ooh. And I gotta hydrate too. Let me do the what do you call it? The Wii Sports thing. Oh, you can't see this at all.
No, not really.
I'm doing the thing where you grab your leg and then go.
cramp in my stomach.
Look at how cool this poster is. You guys see this poster? It's a pretty cool poster, isn't it?
Ow. Oh.
That's me stretching, and then look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this technique. Look at this, look at this stretch. Okay, I'm tired.
Oh. Oh, I think I pulled a muscle in my stomach. Holy cow.
Your swole stomach.
Oh man.
Hi.
Oh. Ow.
Carl doesn't show me his webcam, so I don't know what he's doing.
I
I
would
just
show
have to
him
assume
it,
he
but
did a goofy.
I would show him it, but I
It would be
can't.
intensive on your end and my end.
It's not even that.
You don't love me anymore.
It doesn't. Oh, because the exploit's taking the priority of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't allow me to share it on Discord then.
Oh, okay. My next character, Grizzly Bear from Mother.
Oh God, that's an A
Grappler
character.
Rushdown, big health and continuous attack.
That's an A character.
All right, good. I was expecting him to be a bear.
What a
You
jerk.
stupid piece of crap bear.
Stupid piece of
Like
crap.
like he's hard to beat. He's too much. I think because people don't want to go to S tier when they're in the tournament. They always go for Grizzly Bear. I think even though he's a grappler, he's pretty solid. Tier wise, I think.
All right. So my next character here.
Let's keep treating this like a real game.
So well, how many characters do we have to have this? I guess we could, with everything here, this could already be a fighting game, couldn't it?
I mean, Street Fighter 5 started with like
That's
like
true.
9, not a lot. 8, I don't remember.
I mean, I guess
Anyway.
Smash Brothers had what 12 in the beginning.
Yeah, but I mean, there's
Yeah.
a difference in times.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so all right. So the next one I had was Pierre from Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Ooh.
Also shown up as a bro to help me out.
I think he has movement limitations, unfortunately.
Yeah, but so does Piranha Plant. If Piranha Plant can do it, then so can he.
So is his moving just like he keeps going down and up and from the ground?
Yeah, dude.
That's hard to hit. Dang, he's A tier.
at least A tier, possibly S tier. He just shows up out of
Probably S
nowhere.
tier. It's hard to. It would be hard to catch that. Like you could play a waiting game too. You could probably just, you could do one chip damage and then hide for the rest of the match.
Yeah.
Then again, no one would want to play with you. I'm putting him in S tier just because of that alone. That merit. That's intensive. Did I spell it right?
I have no idea.
What
Maybe.
happens when you try to use the bathroom when you didn't drink anything? You pee air. Anyway, we have to mention this man, this concerning gentleman, Shady Speed.
That's a G tier. Uh-oh.
Out at you.
Oh, Speed. Oh, no, Speed. Hello, Speed?
Huh? What happened?
You cut out, like, almost entirely. I think your internet died.
No, my internet's fine. The Ethernet cable. He's a zoner. That's what I was trying to say. So he, what do you call it? He just throws a bunch of projectiles.
Yeah.
And his finisher is, oops, I totally just killed a dude. Because in the third one he kills, I guess, Brian.
Yeah, that's not really saying much, so,
I guess D.
Yeah, probably.
Because I don't think he's Mike Meekins. He can do something. I mean, there's gonna be a movie about him later.
Okay, so my next character that we gotta throw out. Well, since you just did Shady Speed, I think Crazy Carl should also
We
be
don't
on
know
there.
much about that guy.
That's true. So maybe maybe if we can't think of enough for him, then maybe he could be secret boss that you have to fight.
Okay, sure.
An unlockable character that isn't shown
I
right away.
think the only lore that we kind of have on him, I don't think this is explicitly said, is that Shady Speed is not comfortable around him either.
That's true.
He's too scared of him. He's just going. looks like this all the time. So yeah, you know what? Boss characters tend to be S tier. Let's go S tier. This feels a little loaded, but
all right, all right. Yeah. No, it's fine. It's totally fine. It's totally fine.
it's fine. I made the world. Okay, so hold on. There's people you can submit ideas too. Lucky Larry, Yellow Cup Larry. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I mean,
he could spill on a table.
That's his ultimate. It just spills all over the place.
I think he would be effective against Pierre, but Pierre's like, oh no, I am the wet.
I mean, I don't know. He's no, because you can play the Song of Storms down at Lake Hylia and get them all wet.
Okay. So what do you guys think? What do you think, Carl? I don't know where to put him.
Well, I don't think he should be up in the S and the A tier.
No.
So I think he's kind of
C.
Yeah, probably. Maybe,
he's kind of limited.
Yeah, I just C.
Yellow Cup. L. I can't put Makoto. Carl doesn't know who she is. Put her in A.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
It's Persona 5.
Oh.
You wouldn't understand.
I wouldn't. It's true.
All right, so I have another funny character, kind of like Pierre. Business Benjamin.
I feel like we also...
a character that was left unfinished by the dev team. They did not complete his sprites, so they're only keyframes. They're only like... They didn't animate him completely.
So he doesn't really make it on here, does he?
No, he's kind of an honorable mention.
All right. Okay, so here we go.
All right, I'm excited.
It's the impression of Ben Stiller.
F tier. Next question. You haven't done it lately.
No, okay. You're right. I haven't.
Oh, you're. He's back from the dead.
I guess I'll just stay here at F tier. So it's okay.
D tier. I think we're running at the end of the playlist I made. You could probably just reset it. I don't know how you did it last time.
Oh, let me see where we're at. We're what? Two songs?
Yeah. This is Yu-Gi-Oh right now.
Yes.
I put a lot of random ones. Sorry.
It's alright.
No cohesion. All right, my next one is the Gray Man. Do you remember who this is?
The Gray Man. Why does that? Oh, that does sound familiar. He's
the guy that steals your dreams in LCD Dream Emulator.
Oh, that's ooh, he's an A tier. We have been very defeated by him many times.
Yeah,
he's very strong.
He's easy to counter, but we just can't do it.
Yeah,
we just can't do it. He's too powerful.
Yes, I would agree with that.
This game seems pretty loaded right now. There's a lot of characters that are banned.
Okay. Right. Next up on my list is let's do Donkey Kong, because I feel like he's been a very big part of Hexagon Inc.
He's kind of a grappler too, to a degree. I'd say I feel like he's a solid B.
I was gonna say probably a B tier, but I'm only saying that because I feel like B tier is a little empty.
But like I feel like he would match up with like you know when I watch the tournaments at Evo, I think that the Mojif Man versus DK matchups are like my favorite. It's whoever can out grapple the other, you know? It's pretty intensive.
Oh my god.
All right, next one. Kea.
Oh.
Rush down, big combo. I think that's how she would be played.
So the thing with Kea is that she only gets aggressive if you try to take her food away from her. Otherwise, she's just like, "I love you. I love you. You love me."
I feel like she. But like, let's look back at Toad, right? She's got a height that is hard to hit.
Yeah, that's true.
And when she does get ferocious, it can be ferocious. Where do you think? I feel like she's got to be at least above B or above. What do you think? Or should we separate because so Kea
What's-
can awaken if you steal the bread.
Yeah, really.
So there's Kea and then there's Kea FC. I
The demonic Kea.
don't...
Dark Kea.
dark Kea.
Okay, so put regular Kea at B tier and then put dark Kea at A tier. Or S tier.
S tier?
Yeah.
Okay. Kea Shadow. There we go. Shady likes dogs. I don't. Or not that I don't. I'm scared of them.
Okay. All right. So next up, I think we got to figure out how to put where we can put him. The Rock. I feel like he needs to be on here somewhere.
Dwayne?
Yeah, Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Well, that's tough. That's tough. I haven't seen what he's been cooking lately.
I
either.
feel like because he and Ben Stiller are the only real actual physical people in this, I feel like he should probably actually be in the DRF tier only because.
Okay, but Rock can beat up Ben Stiller.
Yeah. Okay.
He can beat up both of those people. All three of these people. He,
Yeah. Okay.
The
Fair enough.
Rock.
Fair enough.
He goes here. At
Okay.
least.
Fair.
I feel like that's still low for The Rock, but I'll concede that since he's a real person. But Moses Man is a real person. I think his name is Maurice. I think we gave the Mojave Man that name.
I don't remember actually giving him a name.
I feel like Maurice fits. I don't know. We'll discuss it in post.
Maurice Mojif. Okay.
Yeah, Maurice Mojave. It sounds cool. Are we at the end of the playlist?
I think so.
All right, reset it. Back to the basics. Oh wait.
Oh, guess we have. one
Yeah,
more.
I wish you guys. I got the next one. Oh, Mike Meekins, never mind. Jordan Von Struggle.
Jordan Von Struggle.
Jordan Von Struggle.
F tier.
F tier. He's sad.
He's the depressing, disappointing Jorgen Von Strangle. So clearly.
J Von Strugs. I couldn't fit it. There we go. We don't even have to deliberate anything. He's just forced to watch our streams. Come on, Dimmy Turner, why am I in F tier? I have muscles. Sorry, that's a push from my end because like that's a my character. Okay, what else you got? I got a couple more here. So.
I got like maybe one or two more.
All right.
Let's do. I have more, but like, I don't know if I like these anymore. Is the thing. So I'm like wrestling in my mind if I'm like, yeah, this is a good one, and this is not all that great anymore. I'm trying to think of if there... Go ahead and do one more, and I'll see if I can think of another one.
Okay. Well, Dolly also mentioned this. I have it down here. Bobbin.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Zoner, I think he would be a projectile character. The only problem is he has a lot of combo strings. You have to remember the which does what, you know, and that's kind of tough.
Yeah.
Especially because there's such variety, and that he doesn't have a lot of close combat coverage. So I feel like he's kind of lower on the list, unfortunately. What do you think? His Final Smash is he becomes a Final Smash. Well, yeah, his special is like he becomes a swan.
No. His ultimate is he just shows his face to everybody, and then everybody dies.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're totally right.
So I feel like that alone kind of ups his level quite a bit.
I think C because Daisy has a one-hit KO move too.
All right, fair enough. C.
You sound disappointed. I get. You know, this is a pretty fair, balanced game because they're all here in the middle-ish.
All right. We got to put Troy on the list somewhere.
D. I'm being generous about that because this isn't a rating of his character. This is a rating of. Well, Troy's actually like he could probably beat up Shady Speed.
Well, we need a Shady Speed, Creepy Carl, and something Troy.
Tricky Troy.
Tricky Troy.
Trickster Troy. Cat dancing Troy.
Trickster Troy. All right.
So what do you think?
It's a Trickster Troy. We don't know. Now this is a man we do not know much about. Oh,
I don't
Boogie
think he's-
Mushroom.
Boogie Mushroom. In this economy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we could. Try hard Troy.
Try hard, Troy. Come on, Carl. Just one more match of Left 4 Dead. Come on, we can win.
He's such a tryhard that he has to reset the game every time he doesn't get first. No,
Okay, then you know what? That makes him S tier then, because then you can never beat him.
That's a fighting game. So I feel like he's either S tier or F tier. Honestly speaking.
Try hard, Troy.
Yeah. I don't know.
Let's go F.
Okay.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna put him on B tier, but I like F tier better. Sorry, Troy.
Yeah, I was gonna say he sands. He gives up fighting.
All right, how many we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's a big roster
10,
for a
11,
fighting
12,
game.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We need one more to get a perfect 20.
Oh, I have a couple here. I have 3 more.
All right. I don't have any more.
All right. 241 spiders in a trench coat.
Yeah. Nah, I'll pass on that one.
No? Okay.
No.
How about this one? Smoky Prog.
Ooh, okay.
I was like, we gotta add a Pikmin one.
I feel like
He's like the toughest boss to fight in Pikmin 1 too, right?
he's annoyingly strong to fight.
A tier, I think.
Probably, yeah. Maybe even S tier, because I feel like he runs over all the Pikmin and like they just die.
Let's go with A, just because we know that there's a way to defeat him, and it is being good at the game.
All right, fair enough. Okay.
Whereas these S tiers are hard to defeat. Okay, and then my last one is the Waterway to Heaven.
The waterway.
The whole thing. It takes up the whole screen.
I mean, I guess that's enough.
Hit you with a deep cut.
S tier, really. Well,
That's
Waterway to
what?
Heaven sounds more like a boss or a stage. No, that's a stage. That's not a character. That's one of the. Oh man, now we have to do stages
Oh,
for this fighting
okay,
game.
Yeah, next time.
So we'll keep the waterways for that. Okay.
All right.
So
Any other characters that chat can think of that like applies to the channel?
I feel like,
If this was sorry.
I feel like D tier is a little on the light side there. Okay. Fair
Does
enough.
that suffice?
Yeah, that works.
If this was kind of like on my end, I would have added some characters from my kind of side of the sticks, like Lucia, the table tennis thing that I spent like 3 hours not beating. I would put her in S tier.
What happened there, man? Can you talk about that for a second?
No.
Okay, moving on.
I'm thinking of going and doing like a cool event for that.
So when you beat her, then you get a frame of a stupid little picture on your wall.
Yes. Yes, this is my wall of things I've done in my life.
Is that gonna be
kind of burn speed?
Is that gonna be your resume?
You what?
Is that gonna be your resume?
Yeah, sure. Just a picture of my wall. I was thinking though of doing a cool event for that, but I have more plans for that. I want to have every time I lose, like every couple, I'll play like a cutscene of like the lore, like her and I back in the day. It was like, oh yeah, we love ping pong, and then it's like her corruption to becoming like a villain.
Yeah.
But then I'm also a villain, I guess, because someone pointed out the power of infinite resets is a kind of villainous kind of power, wouldn't it be? Owl from Winnie the Pooh, S tier. Carl, did you even get to him?
I feel like that's where I stopped.
All right, well, Owl is definitely. Well, actually, he would be A tier because he's not the final boss of that.
Yeah, I feel like that can't be added onto this right now. I feel like that's gonna have to be in the second game when I have to finish Winnie the Pooh first.
Okay.
We gotta wait on him.
But we added Dry Hard Troy and Creepy Carl already. We don't know
That's-
anything about that.
That's different though. They work out in this.
The Dry Hard Troy was just created today.
That's different though. They were perfect fit for this.
Okay, I'll accept it. Any other characters you guys thinking? Where's the Dolly bot? We were trying to avoid putting like actual people,
Even
just
though
because
we-
I feel
we
like
put-
it would be interpreted the wrong way.
Even though we put The Rock and Ben Stiller in here.
I would put Dolly robot form in B or A though,
Yeah, probably
Right.
somewhere around there. I don't know. maybe-
because
maybe
when
we're
she
being-
awakens to the robot form, it's very powerful. But
see the
I
weakness.
think on her own, she's just a British brat. So.
But see, her weakness is was when people show up with the Splunky intro theme or
She also has a, what do you call it? She also has fire abilities, as we've seen in The Sims.
it's true.
I'm not going to bring up The Sims because then we would put somewhere in F tier and I wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Hello, Brian, again. Yeah, I think that's it for the list. We
Yeah.
can go back to this eventually, but look at this solid roster right here. Who do you mean?
Oh, probably Waluigi, obviously.
Okay, but he's banned at tournaments.
Oh,
You gotta pick someone else. You gotta pick anyone that's not on the S tier.
and then
'cause they're
Pierre.
banned. It just said anyone on the S tier. You can't pick
Oh,
because they're
okay.
banned.
Ooh, okay.
I feel like a lot of people like going for low tiers or mid tiers. I'd go
I'd-
for Daisy.
I'd go
probably.
for Bobbin. I think.
Bobbin?
I feel like I could win many things with
We'd
Bobbin.
have some fun matchups, I think. Daisy versus Bobbin. Because we'd both be sitting on full meter, just waiting for one of us to proc our one hit KO. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna happen. People, Brian would main KO.
So does that mean now we have to like create a fighting game in the style of Super Smash Brothers intro with this?
You again? But well, like so you gotta ban some characters here and there. That is the fault of the creators if they don't patch that out. But I mean, you know, I think when it comes to developing a fighting game, it's better to buff weaker characters than nerf stronger characters. At least that's what I think, because then it's like you kind of lose the fun of if you main them without even realizing the rest tier, for example.
I don't know. That question is opening a Pandora's box of many different opinions. I think personally, I don't think there's ever just gonna be a fix for that.
Nope, never. You're never gonna be able to have a balanced game to begin with.
The only way you could ever have a balanced game is if everybody.
No
plays
one
the-
has a unique ability.
Yeah, everybody has the same character. That's like the only
Everyone's
way of doing
Ryu.
it. Yeah.
I do like watching Shoto fights, though. I don't think I explained. Shoto is basically a well-rounded character, and that typically means Ryu and Ken and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's our fighting game tier list. Do we have what other segments do we have? Woot sent an email.
Oh, he did. Okay. Well, let me get this off the screen here. If anybody wants to take a quick last look here, you got 10 more seconds.
Well, the best tier is kind of determined by players to begin with. I feel like that's also, to a degree, just the ability of the players, if that makes sense. It's a confusing topic talking about tier lists to begin with, and tier lists kind of just imply that you're at the same skill level as another person, or just about. They're more of a matchup in terms of if you were in the same standing as the other person.
Okay. So all right. So let's move on to our email.
Email, the email, email, the email, email, the email, please email at please don't email this podcast at gmail.com if you want to add silly questions. Also, you can join the Discord and ask us stupid questions there, or leave them in the YouTube.
So
comment
actually,
section.
okay. Here. Now, before you start, I want to just, since this just gave me an idea. So Dolly,
Yeah.
I'm picking on you right now.
Yeah.
You should post that comment in the YouTube comments. And then maybe
I will
then-
do it.
Yeah, maybe then we could post answer that question.
What?
No,
Anyway.
I'm saying that like she should ask that since that topic has already been done. She could ask that question in the YouTube comments, and then we could respond there, and then that would be great. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, see.
So we already covered the first playthroughs. Wait, no, we didn't. But yeah, that can be in the future. We're running low on time here.
The thing is that for myself, I don't think there's much else. I really didn't talk too much about that, so I don't really know if I have too much to even just kind of answer that question. So
do you just want to cover it now then instead?
No. We're going to question or it's email time. Let's go.
Okay, email time. Dear, how dare you?
Okay. So
Dear We Censor Barf and Xbox can Wrecked. You asked for a question of the week, yet you stopped doing these regularly. So how are we supposed to expect questions from us viewers? We're not doing the podcast often enough. Sincerely, totally Woot's brother. So this isn't Woot. Who just got his tonsils out. What? And Woot not being snarky to fail at comedy. This is not a question. P.S. Carl and Speed, y'all are good and such. Thanks for the streams. Woot's brother. We've been doing it we're trying to do it bi-weekly. Carl was like, this is the hot ticket. This is getting a fair amount of views. So we're going to try to do it more bi-weekly. In fact, we worked pretty hard on just the topics for this time. And,
right.
We'll probably talk more about what our next thing will be. I got to sell something now. What our podcast will be next week, next week. We'll talk more about that when we get to it.
Right. So, yeah, you're correct though. It should be the question of the week.
Weekly. That doesn't have the same ring to it, like the please don't watch this podcast at gmail.com.
That's true.
That's wrong.
Point, but I feel like that plays along all. So the question of the week is now the official thing of the please don't watch this podcast because I don't even think, is there actually even a better term for that? Because I don't even think that's right.
The every other week question. The other time zone.
Or the bi-weekly question of the week.
Oh, leave me alone. But okay, I get what you're saying, Zorks. We should advertise this segment a little more so then we get more questions.
Yeah.
I think also it's kind of tough because we kind of get questions in general over the week. So I guess our criteria, we should define our criteria as to what this implies. What a question.
But Speed, you told me to put AME in the tags for the Please Don't Watch This podcast, which means that they could probably ask us any questions as long as it's not inappropriate or anything like that.
What? I thought it was given that they can ask questions during the podcast to begin with.
No! They're not.
This is more
to.
for YouTube. This is more for YouTube. The questions segment.
Oh well, I don't know. Just comment. We'll figure it out.
Just comment or send us a funny email because I kind of like the email format. But if you do have a question, just drop it, and then if Carl notices it or if I notice it, specifically in the podcast video, so then it's not just like we know it's for the podcast specifically.
Yeah, it does help actually if the more you guys can separate things out better like that.
And since it's like we don't get the plan for the question, if we get it, it kind of invites some more of a interesting discussion. If you ask a whooshoo question, like maybe you can ask something like what's your motivation for streaming and stuff like that, or doing the YouTube videos.
Yeah,
those are fun questions I think too, because they get more into like the personal side of things, like our raison d'être, or I forget how you say that. Our impetus for existing on this platform. And there's also you could also ask us questions. I think I did say this in the Discord. Probably the Speedy Sundays tab. But
the best place would either be to email us or probably the YouTube comments down below.
But yeah, we're looking for these questions. Like, we would appreciate if they were kind of like, I don't know, not out of left field. I think, like, just so then like Carl's like, oh, I wasn't expecting this. I got to answer right now about like my boxer size. I don't know. I don't know what people would ask.
Well, I guess there's only one way to find out.
Okay, sorry. I thought you meant about the boxers. I was like,
no,
oh no,
no,
girl,
no,
please.
no.
Please. Not now. That's dangerous. Okay. That was our quote unquote question. I guess it's more of a clarification then.
Yeah.
So let's talk about our weeks. I'm hoping to stream again back again this week. I mean, then again, last week I streamed twice. So I mean, that covers, right?
Well, I mean, you did better than me, so let's put it that way.
So I don't know what to stream though. I'd like to stream more Minecraft, but Evan's doing that, and I don't want to split.
Yeah, dude, he's gonna beat you up. Just you wait.
What, are you gonna play Minecraft after this?
No.
Oh no! Are you saying that the next video is a Minecraft?
No.
With Brian? No?
No, I said Evan's gonna beat you up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll accept him beating me up
Yeah.
if he can.
He doesn't want you on his turf.
When I beat you up, Evan, I'll take your firstborn son, and I'll give you Raymond in boxes.
Oh, that's okay.
And here's my cool poster. What are you doing? You said you'd be back at latest Thursday.
Yeah, for sure. Would be the latest. I think Thursday. I think it's gonna be sooner than that. If anything, Monday and Tuesday will probably just be shorter streams. The only thing is that they might be not right at 7 o'clock, which is the usual. Anyways.
We were at 8 today. So.
Yeah, so that would be. I don't really have a game suggested or thought of yet at the very current moment. I do have one maybe that I was considering doing. It's a game called
Eliminator Boat Duel.
Oh God, there's that too.
Winnie the Pooh.
I don't know if I could put the time for that right now.
That's gonna be an event. I think that should.
Yeah,
be,
that's
that'd
right.
Be really
that's
fun.
Gonna be a night, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
Winnie the Pooh night.
So yeah, community night is coming up for sure. Mario Party night is scrapped at the moment. It's completely just torn into pieces.
It's a lot of planning too.
Yeah, it's still gonna happen. Give it a little bit of time. We'll come back to that one.
I was gonna mention something. So what we're hoping, if you can see the date above me, when another podcast will be out? I assume you're gonna try to upload these of the week, right?
Yeah. So I was thinking it might not be a terrible idea if I upload them on the bye week.
Mm-hmm.
So like on Sunday the 17th or 16th or something. 17th. 17th. I think wouldn't be a terrible idea to kind of do it.
Right. So, but if you want to catch these live, just go a week, 2 weeks from this one, the date up here.
Yeah.
Not the 2 weeks after we upload this, obviously. Just thought I would mention that. Cover our bases.
Mm-hmm.
Speed Slasher, not Troy. Yeah,
So
I think that's it.
yeah,
Do you have a quote of the whatever?
Oh, quote of the day.
Or was I supposed to do it this time? We didn't really.
No,
really notice
I forgot to. Yeah, that was totally.
The quote of the day is, "I have Raymond in boxes."
Oh my God, I have Raymond in boxes. At the end of the year, I really hope that we can compile all the quotes that we did.
What was the last one? I don't even remember.
I don't remember actually. Let's see. That'll make
okay,
it.
Let's develop this segment more.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. All right.
All right. Well, that said, I think we're good.
Yep. It's 10:51 p.m. It's late. Pop.
I have to use the bathroom.
wait, hold on.
You're gonna make me hold on. Let me take a swig out of this. Dun, what is this? Oh.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. Well, it's been real. It's time to end. We've been at this for 2 hours and 20 minutes. Good podcast time, I think.
This probably isn't going with the song, is it? Thanks for watching. Carl? Where'd you go? You're making me bigger. You cannot see me anymore. I'm hidden behind knives.
Anyways, thanks guys and goodbye.
Bye, I guess. You know, I wouldn't. I that baby episode. And Ben Stiller, nah, you know, I take it back. Shakespeare, now he's a legend. They call him the big boss. I would put him on. Every time he gets shot at, apparently, he's still alive. I didn't consider that.